Hello, welcome to Amethyst Star Crafting. My name is Jane Ormark and I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And today we're looking at Greatest Journey, and we are looking at specifically the amazing dies that come with the set. So if I show you in the catalogue on page 58 and 59, you have the suite. So you have the stamp set, and you have the coordinating dies, which are amazing. You have these beautiful papers. If you get the stamp set and the dies together, you get a 10% discount. The papers are lovely. And if you happen to want the whole lot, so you wanted the complete collection, which would give you the stamp sets and the little embellishments and the twine and the ribbon, you can get that as well in one number. So it's in the mini catalogue, and I think it is just absolutely amazing. So this is the stamp set. Let me just find the dies, which are over on here, because I've got them out with all the pieces to do this card for you. So the dies, Greatest Journey. This is what I wanted to get. I wanted to get the dies, but I've actually fallen in love with the stamp set. So I got the bundle because, as I say, saving 10%. And it means that you get the coordinating dies to do it. I always put mine on magnetic sheets so you can see them on the magnetic sheets. Now, you have this piece, which will cut out a mountain. So you can have it in any colour you want. You've got tents, mountain bike, motorbike, runners, person, carrying a light or whatever, and I have actually die cut some of these out so you can see, not all of them. You get these which will die cut out your images on here, so that makes that really easy. You don't have to worry about fussing about doing those. You've got clouds, really good die bundle, and as I say, that's what I wanted because I love doing silhouette cards, as you know, and so this was like a one that I had to have because of all the images. So I've die cut some of them out that I have knew that I was going to be using a lot. So we have, that's the, I haven't taken the little tiny pieces out of here. I love the way dies now are just so delicate. So that's our mountain bike. You know, he can be up in the air wheeling, he can be down, he can be riding along wherever you want him to ride. That's the person, which again I think is quite good because it's very generic. So it could be a female hiker or a male hiker, or any hiker you want. Now, if you cut the little lantern off, there is a die that cuts out a walking pole. So you could take that off and have it as a hiker, as opposed to the lantern lighting the way. So that's quite good as well. You've got a runner. So again, you could have a runner who's running over the mountains, across anywhere you want. You've got a rather exciting tent. Now this tent, let's take my little mountain person out. I did another one. The tent comes in two parts. So if you want a complete silhouette, you've got this, look at all the detail on it. If I put it down, you can probably see you've got all of the little detailing on there, and it's so fine, little stitching along the bottom of the tent. And that's the bottom. So you can put it all together. Even if you're having a silhouette, you can have the tent so that it gives that you know, three-dimensional look as an image, or you could do it as a coloured tent, or you could do it with vellum so it looks like a tent, however you want. But you can see how lovely these images are. Just absolutely love them. So I always die cut a few because, as you know, I don't waste my backgrounds at all, and I've been doing a lot on black. So that's what I've taken and done in there. Now the papers. The papers are, again, something that I had to have. Now, I've cut some of them, but what I thought I'd show you is, whoops, the ones that I haven't. So what I tend to do is I cut some out. So you've got these, which are the lovely trees. You've got this, which is the water, which I've done with the turtles. You've got this one. Other side has got the most beautiful starry sky. But lovely on there. You know, you've got this side and you've got that side. So you've got mountains at different times of the day. That's my tree one. Again, this one. So you've got the pink sun on the mountains, and then you've got the green mountains underneath. You've got these ones, which are lovely with the trees at the bottom, and then the trees on the bottom of there as well. So yeah, you've got just lovely ones. As I say, I've cut some of them out because that's what we're using, and you can see that you can get an awful lot out of it and give your scene before you've started. So I've taken a piece like that, and as you can see, you can get 6 cards, depending on the size, you can get 6 or 8 cards out of one sheet, and you just cut it across. So I've got that as the bottom. I'm mounting it on black. I haven't cut that piece out, but I will be cutting it out, maybe, or maybe not, because I've done a lot of die cutting at the moment. And then what I've done is I have die cut this. Do you remember me telling you about, I'll get the dies out so you can see how I've built it, because I wasn't going to go die cutting it all for you, but on here, this was this piece here gives you this lovely you know, mountain edge. So all I did was I die cut it out like that, just out of a piece of cardstock in the black, because I wanted that to go in. So this is going to be glued down like that. I will do it, but I'm not going to do it at the moment. And this is then going to come in right across the bottom like that. So it gives that mountain, but it comes down on the bottom. Now, I could put it up with dimensionals. I don't think I'm going to, but I might. Then I've taken the motorbike that we're talking about, or the, for this particular one, it is a mountain bike. So I can put the mountain bike whizzing up in the air, doing a wheelie at a great sort of angle like that, because it's a birthday card for my grandson. Then I really liked the mountains of, but it couldn't be thanks for a birthday. So I just stamped and cut out the mountains of, which is this piece. So we've got mountains of. And then I took from Art Gallery, we've got Happy Birthday and we've got Best Wishes. So I wanted mountains of birthday wishes. So I've cut the birthday out, and then I've got the wishes to do. So all I do is take out I tend to cut the whole thing out first. Like that. And then I can cut this in between here, because I only want the wishes part. Then I can see the distance between that and that, so I can cut that out. And then we've got the wishes. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfectly straight. Now, if I put this on here, it looks a little bit stark. You could do it in black, you could emboss it, but it's quite fiddly if you're doing little bits. So what I thought I would do was I would get some sponge daubers, and I'm taking the sponge dauber out in the Calypso Coral, which is the colour that is in on here. And then I can take each one of these little sentiments and I can just sponge around the edge where it says mountains of on here, and you want it to come sort of over a bit. So can you see how that takes it into the card a bit? So again, just round the edge, allowing it to come over a bit. And take this one, and again allow it to come over a bit. Now, because this is a birthday card for my grandson, I'm not adding any frillies or anything like that because he wouldn't appreciate it at all. As you're probably aware, boys of that, he's going to be 10, so boys of that age think that they're very grown up when they're not as grown up as they think they might be. And so yes, so I'm going to do, that's what we're going to work with. So let's have a go at putting it all together. And I've got some card bases, and I've got to decide whether I want it to stand up. I think I'm going to have it on this way so it stands up that way. Yes, I am. Okay, so first thing I need to do is I need to put this onto here. Now I could have cut this out. I'm not going to, because I'm just going to take this on here. And I was going to put a number again once children get to, particularly, you know, little boys, once they get to a certain age, they don't want to have their number on their card. And my grandson's very much, you know, he's got two older brothers and sisters. So he's got an older brother and an older sister. And so he wants to be as grown up as they are. So he does like things to be as grown up as possible. So all the nice little cutesy cards I used to do for him, he doesn't appreciate those sorts of things anymore. They have to be grown up cards. So I thought, right, he likes his bike. He doesn't go into the mountains, but if he did, he would certainly want to be wheeling about and doing all of that racing thing, which is rather good. Okay, so this is going to come in like that. Sure that I've got it in relatively straight. There we go. Okay, so this piece is going to come in on the bottom like that. So I've got to take that right at the bottom. Now, I don't think I'm going to do it with dimensionals. I was looking to see whether I should or not. I don't think so, because I think it's going to be all a bit too proud. So this is literally just going to be stuck down with wet glue. You can see I've got a new one here. I've just finished my old one, so you tend to over squeeze when you're starting a new one, because you're used to squeezing it out for the last drops of the old. There we go. So that literally fits right nicely at the bottom. And as I say, you could put it up with dimensionals if you wanted to. I didn't, but can you see how you get that lovely sort of silhouette look? So the bike is going to come up at a real angle. Now, you can take it out on the sticky sheets, but to be quite honest, as I've turned around and said, if you're somebody who's used to using wet glue like I am, the nozzle on this is so fine that you can actually get it into all of the tiny weeny pieces. You know, you have to turn it round. You can use tweezers if you want to. I'm not very good at holding things with my hands because I have arthritis in my fingers, so I find tweezers, by the time I've tried to sort of hold them at one angle and another, they don't really work. So this is going to come up from here on there, right up at that angle on a complete wheelie. Okay, and you can take it over onto the other side and give it a rub that way, because then you know that it's going to flatten out, but you're not rubbing against the tiny little detail on those. And as I say, if you think you've got a little bit too much glue coming over, you can always just take it out. I think I'm fine on there. Okay, so we've got this mountains, and again I wanted it a bit of a Mountains of, just at a bit of a jaunty angle on here, I think. And as I say, I could have done it in white, embossed on black, but I think that that just works at a bit of an angle. I think that's fine. So let's take the mountains first of all. And again, we can just make sure that that is stuck down nicely in on here. So that's the mountains of. Take that off. It's the birthday. And as I say, you know, I could have matted this, but I wanted to be sort of quite rustic looking. You know, it's a birthday card for a boy, and as I say, he's 10, so he doesn't like anything too overly fussy. So let's just put that in on here like that. And again, I can turn it over. Give it a good old press down on that side, and then I know that that's nice and straight. So that is, as I say, you could use our the lovely new dies, which are, just get them out so I can show you them. These lovely ones, which are the alphabet a la mode dies, and as I say, I could have taken, which would have worked quite well, but not, as I say, for this one. You've got all your numbers on there, so I could have, let me just take the numbers out and show you. If I put them in a different space, I could have had the 10 up in on that corner and moved it across if I wanted to. So, you know, don't forget your numbers if you're wanting to do specific cards. Again, you know, if you're wanting to do a grown-up male who's into their sports and things, or they're running, you know, you can put your 40s and your 50s and your 30s and your, you know, whatever color numbers you want in on there, because these dies have them all. You can see as well, if there's letters that I don't use, or I've thought of something and then thought, I'm not going to use that, I just store them in there. So I've always got a few ready to go. So I've got a joy and a high. So that's the card for today. Very simple, but perfect for a young lad, or you know, any male that's into their mountain biking and racing. So thank you so much for watching me. As always, please stay safe and well. Please be kind, and look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye bye.